crack, still hit me back right away. Better not never hesitate. Don't come around think you're getting saved. Try to show the dogs brighter days. Got a torch trying to light the way. Biting everybody, which is ironic, cause your next album probably won't ever see the light of day. Have fans, but you let them.
Trust no fucking body. They still haven't hit me cause they ain't.
They say, why you wanna do the back of your mistake? Look you in the face.
Jake Paul has officially kicked off his training camp as he prepares for his showdown with Anthony Joshua. Meanwhile, Joshua is deep into his own camp, putting in the work and hinting at a dramatic return that could surprise everyone.
Let's go, Tim! Again!
However, Eddie Hearn pointed out that this matchup is simple for fans to understand. He said many viewers are excited by the idea of Anthony Joshua potentially beating Jake Paul so badly that it sends him out of the sport altogether.
We think the fight is very straightforward. You know, there's a lot of people that are very excited about the thought of Anthony Joshua almost evaporating Jake Paul from the actual boxing world. You have to admire the front of Jake Paul and the heart. You know, he's had criticism about the level of opposition. Now he steps up to a whole new stratosphere. But, you know, for us, they made the offer, of course, financially it was huge. We were planning potentially a little 8-round run out this year, and now the 8-round run out will be against Jake Paul for more money than we could have ever dreamed of. So at the serious stuff for us, if you heard from Turkey Al Sheikh, begins in 2026. But at the same time, this was really an offer we couldn't refuse, and it's a massive event. And as AJ said in his press release, no mercy. You know, this ain't no exhibition. This is a real heavyweight.
Meanwhile, Tony Bellew said he won't take the fight seriously until he actually sees Jake Paul step through the ropes. He admitted he can't even imagine Paul lacing up 10-ounce gloves and going up against Joshua.
I don't believe it. I don't believe a single thing until I see him in the ring. I don't believe any. Even if they come together for a press, I don't believe it. I don't genuinely believe he will climb into a boxing ring with 10-ounce gloves on with Anthony Joshua. It won't happen. It can't.
Hypothetically, if it does, how long does it last?
As long as Josh wants it to. Simple as that. As long as he wants it to. The same way it did with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. The same way it did with Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou.
MMA star Daniel Cormier reacted to the announcement by saying the Joshua versus Paul fight is completely valid in his eyes, adding that it isn't built on any special favors or unusual circumstances.
He thinks about my brother fighting Anthony Joshua. Dude, it's real.
It's fun.
It's real.
There's got to be some rules in place for Anthony not to.
Dude, I don't think there's rules.
Come on.
I swear to God.
I keep telling people this, right? And this is where people fucking up, especially these MMA dudes. I keep saying, stop treating Jake like he's not a boxer.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years now of pure boxing with great coaches and great training partners. He's gotten a lot better.
He's gotten a lot better.
He can fight, man.
Yeah, but what about Anthony Joshua, man?
That's bad, bro.
Tyson Fury weighed in on Jake Paul's call-out of Anthony Joshua, saying the fight appears to be a true toss-up, with both men having a legitimate chance of coming out on top.
Do you regret the Joshua fight not happening?
No, I don't. I don't regret anything. Life's too short for regrets.
What do you think of Jake Paul calling him out?
I think it's a good fight. I think it's a real 50-50 fight.
Joe Rogan talked about the potential Joshua versus Paul matchup, noting that Jake appears hungry for the fight. Rogan mentioned that Paul is reportedly willing to agree to a deal where Joshua takes almost the entire purse, leaving Paul with only about 1%.
Talking right now about doing Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul.
I know, I saw that.
Jake Paul apparently wants that fight. And he agreed to, I think it was 99% to 1, where Joshua gets 99% of the money and he gets 1%.
Jake Paul probably doesn't care about the money.
Well,
but
he has plenty of money, and if he won, oh my God, if he beat Anthony Joshua, good Lord, Good Lord. I mean, that's a big if. Right?
I mean,
Anthony Joshua,
I do not think-
Olympic gold medalist, former heavyweight champion of the world. What he did to Francis Ngannou, like, good Lord.
Yes.
Do you want that smoke?
Yeah, I just think it's all about the promotion or whatever. That fight's not competitive at all.
Well, it's a dangerous fight.
Yeah.
Because Joshua's going to try to make an example out of him, for sure.
And will.
I mean, Anthony Joshua's one of the biggest one-punch KO artists ever.
Yes.
Jose Benavidez warned fans not to write Jake Paul off too quickly, emphasizing that this matchup carries real danger and could even produce an outcome nobody expects.
No, don't count him out. I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, we could have a big upset, But I think that AJ is too much for Jake Paul at this point, and he's bigger than Jake Paul, in my opinion.
Do you think it's competitive? A lot of people are saying if AJ doesn't get him out of there in 2 rounds, it'll be a huge embarrassment.
I don't think that's not the case, that he's gonna get Jake Paul. At the end of the day, Jake Paul has been training hard too, and he's a pretty good fighter. I don't think he would take him out in 2-3 rounds. I think maybe in the later rounds, or it might go to decision, but I don't think that Jake Paul can take AJ out. I mean, or AJ could take Jake Paul. Maybe, but I don't know. It's just going to be an exciting fight. I think I want to see that fight, to be honest with you.
Frank Smith countered critics by saying that anyone claiming this fight harms Anthony Joshua's legacy is ignoring the facts. Joshua is already an Olympic gold medalist and a 2-time unified heavyweight champion.
You say to the people who say Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight. Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight? It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake.
Brendan Schaub complimented Jake Paul, saying it's impressive how he's transitioned from Disney to YouTube and then into boxing, taking on anyone for big money fights without hesitation.
Well, kudos to Jake Paul. The cojones this motherfucker has, from a Disney kid to YouTube to he can fight anyone and get views and make fucking money. This crazy wild boy sends out the bat signal, the British bat signal for Anthony motherfucking Joshua. You know how crazy that is? I will say this. I don't think any of Jake Paul's fights are fixed in any capacity. At all. Not even close. I don't get down that narrative. I will say this though. My spidey senses will go off if Anthony Joshua doesn't absolutely mop the floor with him.
Carl Frock suggested that Anthony Joshua seems focused on the payday, noting that ever since his loss to Daniel Dubois, he hasn't fully regained his confidence or belief in himself.
What else have we got to consider? Is AJ cashing out? Well, I did say a year ago when he got splattered by Daniel Dubois that he's finished now. He won't get that confidence back. He's not had any confidence, in his head. No belief for a long time. And I don't think he can get back to world level. There's a couple of new young guns now coming up and coming through. It's like a changing of the guard. And when Usyk retires, I don't know what Daniel Dubois is going to do next, but what Daniel Dubois did to him, then he went on and lost to Usyk. But there's a few new heavyweights coming through, Moses Atalma, just to mention one. And you wouldn't start putting AJ in with any of these young up-and-comers that can punch hard, because I just don't think he's got the chance, because the ambition and the desire is going to be gone. So AJ most definitely is cashing out, and you can't fault him. Fair play to him. He's going to get a massive payday, maximise his exit route by fighting fake.
And that wraps up today's video. What do you think about this matchup? Drop your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content.